Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Suklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyadharada Vaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. With Bhagavan's grace, let us continue where we left off. Now, Narada has started teaching us about the sadhanas, about the various pathways. Initially, he described some of the lakshanangal, the features, the distinctive features, characteristics of true bhakta and bhakti. Now, the pathways, various ways to attain it. Sutra number 34 says, Tasyaha sadhanani gayanti acharyaha. So, acharyas, we got to follow them. Then 35, he says, Tattu vishaya tyagate, sangha tyagate cha. 36, avyavrita bhajanate, very important, continuously, without giving any break. You must be thinking of Bhagavan all the time. Now, we came to 37, and that's where we stopped. Lokepi Bhagavat Guna Sravana Kirtanate. Loke api Bhagavat Guna Sravana Kirtanate. This is very important, and this answers the questions one of my sisters had written to me about also. And we'll try and share Bhagavan's answers the way that he will guide us. Very important. Loke api. Even in this world, we are all living in this world, right? It is so easy to give up everything and just be with Bhagavan, but that's not how it is taking place. Because life is a game, play it. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a dream, realize it. And life is love, live it. And so we have to practice all this. It's like a 24/7 fitness club. That's what our life is. We have to keep on exercising our mental muscles. And what is the exercise prescribed here for our mind? The loke api, in this world as we live, Bhagavat Guna Sravana Kirtanate. To listen to the stories and glories of Bhagavan. To sing the stories and glories of Bhagavan. To share it. To imbibe. To be in that type of environment, of life, mentally. Now, how is it possible? I have so many things to do in life, we say. Now, let us look at number of things here. And first I want to share this story about Saint Tyagaraja, Ditisala Sukhama, Ramudu, Sannidhi, Seva Sukhama. Beautiful Kriti in Kalyani that some of you may have heard. And basically what he says there is, all these wealth, is it going to give me pleasure and comfort and happiness and peace, or should be doing the service at the feet of Rama? The actual meaning of that song, which is what this is also talking about, and Sutra number 36 is talking about, Avyavrita, always without break. And what Saint Tyagaraja tells us and teaches us is that, Swami, now this messenger has come offering all types of wealth from the king. If I take if I go to receive that wealth, then I'll be taking my hands off your feet where I've kept them. I'm massaging them. I have to take my hands from your feet in order to receive it. That I cannot do. Avyavrita. Now, number of things let us look at here. Sarvada Sarvakaleshu Sarvatra Harichintanam. We have discussed that. That is what the Sutram number 37 talks about. Whatever you do, Sarvada Sarvakaleshu Sarvatra, in all ways, at all times, in all places, mentally you be thinking of Bhagavan, and body can be doing all the things, and mind can also be engaged in it, and in fact you will find that things will happen much faster and much more efficiently in much less time and much more happily if you keep Bhagavan's company there in your mind as you do different things. It is not mutually exclusive. In fact, it's inherently one with each other. And in uttering Bhagavan's name, then the question comes, Swami, but I have not cleaned myself. I have not gone and washed my feet or washed my mouth or washed my hands. Right? So many things that we go through. But that is not necessary. Because Daksha Smriti says beautifully, we must always be singing the Nama of Bhagavan. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, whatever name that you select, sing it all the time. When you do that, you don't have to worry about the cleanliness of your body. That is irrelevant. Because why? Because when you utter Bhagavan's name, that itself purifies it. Right? And remember that. That's very important. And another thing that it talks about is that whatever situation that you are in, wherever even it could be in the bathroom, for example. Okay? Seriously. And you think of Bhagavan, that moment becomes sacred and pavitram. If you sincerely think of it, because everything and everywhere is Bhagavan only. There is no impurity, absolutely no impurity in the company of Bhagavan. Physical or mental or spiritual or emotional impurity is extinct, is absent in the company of Bhagavan. So you keep his company. And that itself will purify everything. And what does Bhagavad Gita says in this? So beautifully he says, we saw Manmana Bhava and all that, right? Mat Bhakto, Matyaji, Mam Namaskuru. But before all that, Swami says a beautiful thing for people like you and me who are struggling with the battles of life. He says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmaran Yudhya Cha. Tasmat, therefore, Sarveshu Kaleshu, at all times, Mam Anusmara. Do bhajan to me in your mind. Think of me with love in your mind. Keep me in your mind. And Yudhya Cha, engage in the battles of life. That is what the game of life is all about. Is that. Now, let us go back to the question that my sister asked about what happens when somebody behaves violently. A beautiful story I want to share with you. That once the Panchapandavas and Krishna, they had gone out and they were staying in a forest. And at night time, they were sleeping under a tree. And the story, the news that was spread around that place was there was a ghost in that tree. So the Panchapandavas, they divided, the watchman duty, and each one took, they went to bed whatever time, 8 o'clock or whatever, and till the sunrise came. So they divided the time into 6. 5 Pandavas and Krishna. Krishna said, I will also be a watchman. I will also be a god. And Krishna got the final Brahma Muhurtam time. So as Yudhishthira did his watch, Arjuna did his watch, Bhima, yes, and the other brothers were all sleeping and these people were keeping awake, and yes, there was a ghost, there was an evil spirit on the other side of the tree waiting to attack them. They could see it. It was angry, it was violent, and it was bubbling with anger, and it was sinister. right? You could see it. And so, each of the Panchapandavas, they kept God and made sure that that particular evil force, the ghost, did not disturb the sleep of the others. Then Arjuna's turn came, and he finished his turn. Then he woke up Krishna, and he said, Krishna, now it's your turn. You have to guard the remaining 1.5 hours or whatever, and then he went to sleep. Now, when Krishna looked at that ghost, he did not see a sinister form. He did not see a violent form. He did not see an angry form. All he saw was another very loving form. So he got engaged. He was talking to it lovingly, and the ghost talked to him back very lovingly. And they chit-chatted and spent the time, and soon the sunrise came. And before they realized, all the other Pandavas, they all got up and said, Krishna, what happened? Did you see the ghost? And how did you manage? And all? He said, what ghost? There was no ghost. There was a very loving person there. That's what I saw. Now, what does this mean? And does this mean that sure, everything is a reflection of ourselves, definitely, 100%. If I'm 100% love, the whole world will appear nothing but love to me. And look at it, putting it in another practical way, however much you try, however sincerely and with all the skills you have mustered, however much you try, others will look to you only as perfect as you yourself are. This is what happens. We try to control events. We try to control people. But no, we have to control and improve ourselves. So, what is the solution when somebody is behaving violently? What is the solution when somebody is behaving angrily? What is the solution when I am behaving violently or I am behaving angrily? It doesn't matter who behaves what. The only solution is Sarvada, Sarvakaleshu, Sarvatra, Hari Chintanam. And remember the Sutram number 36. Avyavrita Bhajanate. When something does not go right, which means it does not go the way that we want, according to our design. When things go exactly the way we want, we are very happy. But when things don't go the way we want, it could be our child not acting the way we want, or the boss turns us away, or whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever. So many things happen in life, right? That really we don't like, or we don't want, we don't prefer, we don't design it that way. If we had our own choice, we would make things happen differently. All these things, right? When something happens not the way we want or we like, that's the clearest, the most distinct and the closest presence of Bhagavan. He tells you, improve yourself. Think of me, think of me, think of me. How many times Bhagavan says, he says once, the Avatar Purushan told once, actually I cried when I heard it. He says, yes, I am Nataraja. Yes, I am the cosmic dancer. Yes, only I know the pain and the difficulty I go through to teach each one of you how to dance. We don't dance according to divine music. So that's where the problem comes. Somebody behaves violently, let them. Somebody behaves angrily, let them. That Bhagavan will take care. My job is to think of Bhagavan. The moment I do that, I become peaceful. The moment I become peaceful, what appeared as very violent to me will not appear as violent. Imagine how the world will look to Ramana Maharishi's eyes, or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's eyes, or Kanchi Paramacharya, people we know, or even M.S. Subbulakshmi for that matter, right? How did they look at it? If something is violent, would they perceive it that way? No. When you are with Bhagavan in your mind, keep him in your mind. That is the only panacea and the only solution. And when something drastic happens, that is the clearest moment for you to turn your mind to Bhagavan and see what happens. That is the only solution. Now, the world is 100% perfect. The universe is perfect. God's creation. Nothing wrong with the world. Change your vision accordingly is what Bhagavan says. My vision is got cataract, it's got yellow fever. I'm looking at it with colored eyes. I'm looking at it with tremendous selfishness, lots of ego, lots of anger in me, unfulfilled desires within me. So many things that I have to improve. And when I look at it with colored glasses, how will the world look? How will we all look to Bhagavan? How did the ghost look to Krishna? This is a question I asked Swami. I said, how do we look to you? You look so beautiful to us, but how do we look to you? He said, seeing with the eyes of love, all thoughts are sacred. All thoughts are sacred. And all beings are beautiful. And all thoughts are innocent, he said. All thoughts are innocent. All beings are beautiful. And all actions are sacred. So, change our vision. And the only way to change it and purify ourselves is what this is all about. Not to correct the world. Not the world changes when I change. Simple. So the whole exercise of Narada Bhakti Sutra to become a bhakta, or any teaching from Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas, Ramayanam, whatever you bhaja Govindam, it doesn't matter what you take. The teaching is always to purify our mind, our speech and our action. That is what, and the purification takes place only in the company of Bhagavan. Therefore, Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam, Manmana Bhava, and Avyavrita Bhajanate. All these things come. Right? So, I hope that answered the question that the sister asked. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyascha. As we engage in the battle of life, as we are battling in the process of purifying and improving ourselves, whether it is this birth or next birth, doesn't matter. It's a continuous battle that we are always engaged in, whether we realize it or not. And the purification is taking place for each one of us, definitely, because nothing is wasted in Bhagavan's creation. So, as we engage in it, think of me. Mam anusmara. Mam anusmara. Not just smara. Anusmara. Keep me closest to you. I am there, right in your heart. Keep me. I'm in front of you, behind you, above you, below you, to your side, everywhere I'm surrounding you. I'm inside you. Think of me is what Bhagavan. So think of him very closest. And that is what the teaching is. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, yes, you are a householder, I know. That means lots of challenges are there, lots of responsibilities are there, duties are there. And yes, I know that you got lots of attachments to the things in the world. Yes, I know all that. Things are not, everybody is a sannyasi. We all have attachment, we all have desires. So let us start from where we are. Then he says, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, this is where you are, no problem. No, be like that. But keep your mind with Bhagavan. That's all. While you're engaged in your worldly duties and taking care of your family and household and cooking and taking children in the car or going to work or whatever it is, you're engaged in the worldly activity, do it. But at the same time, keep your mind with Bhagavan. And that makes, and when you are not doing anything and sitting at home and relaxed, then keep both your hands on Bhagavan's lotus feet. Otherwise, keep one hand there all the time. Keep touching Bhagavan, who's always touching us. That is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. So that is 37. Lokebi Bhagavad Guna Sravana Kirtanate. This is a very important sadhana. Very important sadhana. Very easy to do. Just like we do so many things, right? We embrace worries, we embrace ego, self-importance, so many things. We embrace our children, our wealth and properties and so many things. Let us embrace Bhagavan mentally. Okay, that is first one. 38. Mukhyatastu mahat kripaya eva bhagavad kripa lesadva. Mukhyatu mahat kripaya eva bhagavad kripa lesatva. Padangal mukhyataha tu mahat kripaya eva bhagavad kripa lesatva. Lesat means not just easy, but a little bit. But now when we hear this, yes, I want to do it. I want to do Abhyavrta Bhajanat. I want to, yes, even in Lokepi, Bhagavad Guna Sravana Kirtanat, I want to be doing that all the time. So what is the important, Mukhyataha to, what is the most important element there that is required is Mahat Kripaya Eva. With the Kripa, with the Daya, with the compassion of Mahans, the really great people. And who is a Mahan? A Sadguna, person with Sadguna, with character. We talked about it at the beginning, right? Person who has a loving disposition and no selfishness, patience, forbearance. We talked about all that. Charitable disposition. People like that and who want to do only dharmic path. They always, those people's compassion and daya and kripa we must have. And also, at least a little bit of Bhagavan's kripa. This is so important. And this is what Adi Shankaracharya teaches us in Bhajagovindam. Satsangatve nitsangatvam, nitsangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischala tattvam, nischala tattve jivan muktihi. That Sangam, the company of the good people, the godly people, that is so important. In Viveka Chudamani it says, there are three things that are very rare to get. Very rare. Durlabham. And what was those three? The birth of a human being, which we all have. Very rare. Jantunam narajanna durlabham. Don't ever take it lightly. As Swami Dayananda said, in one day of Brahma, which runs into trillions of years, okay, and 4.32 billion years, one day of Brahma, there are so many 8.34 million types of creations, and human being is just one of them. And Dayananda Saraswati Swami said suppose, just assume, we get this chance only once in Brahma's day to be born as a human being. Now you begin to appreciate the rarity of this human birth. It is so rare to get. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. And the second one that is very rare to get is a sincere desire to be free from this bondage of action, free from the bondage of birth and death cycle. The sincere desire for mukti. That is also very rare to get that sincere desire. Okay? Very, very rarely only people get that. Even Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, out of millions and millions of people, who even want to do this meditation and dhyanam with me, only 1 in a million, even there, they actually continue the journey, and even among the people who continue the journey, only 1 in a million succeed. So it is so rare to have this sincere desire for mukti. And the third thing that is very rare to obtain is the company of the good. Satsangam is very, very rare to get. Not easy. Not easy. We are moving around calling every nonsensical group and gathering as satsangam. It is not. Satsangam seriously is a company of God. Company of God is obtained only in the company of people who keep God as their company. Godly people, good people. That's a company that we need. And it is rare. Because it is rare, you don't find much of it. These three are very rare to get, is what Viveka Chudamani says. So how do I get that, Swami? It is so rare. Only through the grace of Bhagavan you get it. Bhagavat Kripa Lesatva. Even slightest grace. Bhagavan, just why His grace has to fall on us. Then only we get these three, let alone one of the three. And in Bhagavatam, when Vyasa was sitting there and very sad, he has composed 17 Puranas and did Itihasam, given Bhagavad Gita to the world. But he was not happy or peaceful. No, he was disturbed. he was impelled by the desire to do good service to the society. He said, not everybody can read Vedam. So he made it easy. And so he said, not everybody will understand the pathway to Atma Vidya. So he made it very easy. Then he gave lots of Puranas to make the great Tattvams and the teachings in a story form to make people easy to read and understand. But in spite of doing all that, he found that people were miserable, were not happy, they were not peaceful. He says, what have I done? I am not happy also. Then Narada comes to him and tells him that you have been all these days, you're talking about, the Duryodhana and all these, the evil thoughts and Mahabharatam you wrote. So all these tendencies are all in your mind. Plus, you have this feeling that you are doing everything, that ego is there. So how can you be peaceful? Then he taught him the Atma Vidya. That is why Guru Purnima came. That's the day he did it. And what did he do? He told Vyasa, Narada tells Vyasa his own story, what happened to him. How in his previous birth, during a Chaturmasya time, none other than Sanat Kumara himself taught him the Atma Vidya, and then he did the tapas based upon that. That's how. So the question of getting good company is Bhagavan's grace. Bhagavan's grace. We already, all of us are blessed already. We have the human birth. Now if we pray to Swami, give me good company, Swami, he will give. If you seek God himself as your guru, he will come as your guru. But if you accept any Tom, Dick and Harry who moves around and calling himself a guru and a Swami, that's what you will get. But if you seek God himself as a guru, as Vivekananda did, you will get that. So the satsang, if you want, ask Swami, he will give you that. But that happens only with Bhagavan's grace. And the another teaching from Bhagavatam which I will share with you, and then we'll close the session for today. Mahat sevam dvaram ahuhu vimuktehe tamodvaram yoshitam sangi sankam. Let me read the Sanskrit again from Bhagavatam, and then I will give the meaning to you in English. It is so powerful. The importance of satsangam, company of the good. Bhaja sadhu samagamam is a teaching. Bhaja sadhu samagamam. We need that sadhu samagamam. Okay, the company of the good. The Bhagavatam's teaching. Mahat sevam dvaram ahuhu vimuktehe tamo dvaram yoshitam sanki sankam. Ahuhu, they say, vimuktehe, to attain freedom, to mukti itself, to be placed forever at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, where it is so comfortable and peaceful it is. Peaceful, really. And then Bhagavan's grace, you even merge with it, become one with it. Let it take place by itself. Vimuktehe, that vimuktam, that freedom, mahat sevam dvaram. That means the service we do to Mahans, people like Adi Shankara, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, people who are all godly, Godward bound, when we do their service to them, that is the entrance, dvaram, that is the door leading to freedom, to mukti. Now, tamo dvaram yoshitam sangi sankham. That means, when I keep the company of the pleasure that happens because of the man-woman physical relationship, that kind of a company if I keep, that is tamo dvaram. That is a doorway to ajnanam, to ignorance, away from that. So it's like the key in a lock, turn it left or turn it right. It is simple like that. That's what Bhagavatam says. So Sutra number 38, Mukyataha tu Mahat Kripaya Eva Bhagavat Kripa Lesatva. Sutra number 39, Mahat Sangastu Durlabaha Agamyaha Amogaha Amogasva Amogaha Cha. I'll just read that and we will close for today. Mahat Sangaha tu. No, if Mahat Sangha is what we want, it says Durlabaha Agamyaha Amogaha Cha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.